we're going to saute what we call our aromatics, which is some onion, some carrot, and some celery. Get a new spoon. And we just want to saute those around until they're tender. Let's take a quick look at our cranberry sauce, which is starting to thicken up, and the cranberries are starting to explode and let out all of their natural juices. Our apples are caramelizing wonderfully. Just spin those around a little bit. We just want these carrots, onion, and celery, which we call aromatics, to get tender. We don't want to allow them to color at all, because if they start to darken around the edges, they'll get bitter. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Of course, loving food, what better holiday than a holiday that celebrates food all day long, and a great American holiday that's filled with family and tradition. Okay, now that we've got these a bit tender, we're going to add our pistachio nuts. We want to toast those around. These are unsalted, dry roasted pistachio nuts that are already shelled. And now we want to add our rice. We want to toast that rice around to coat it with the oil. And this one we normally finish right in the oven. But with so many different things going on, I think I'm going to keep an eye on this one and keep it right on the stovetop. If you've got a stove that has really good control, and this one happens to have a good satin simmer, which allows me to lower it down for very, very low heat and very, very even heat distribution, then I can usually do these dishes without having to put them in the oven, which would be a more gentle type of heat. Just adding our stock. Give it another stir. I do want to give a pinch of salt and pepper. One last stir, and then we'll cover this. Then we'll start to get ready to plate some foods up. Okay. Let's get a little bit of a cleanup going here. Going to try and make a nice spread of side dishes so you can see our everything but the turkey concept. Let's see. We have our apples. Let's take a look at our Brussels sprouts and our squash. Donna, could I have the squash, the acorn squash? Thank you. After these are done, I like to take and slice a little section right off the bottom of the squash so that I can stand it up. There's a funny story behind this squash. I was visiting my brother in California one Thanksgiving, and he made this acorn squash with the caramelized apples, and this was long before I ever decided to go to culinary school, and it actually never had acorn squash before. So we're sitting down at the table, and we're starting to eat, and we're just talking away, and at the end of the meal, my brother said, "Where's the squash that I gave you?" And I said, "I ate it." And he said, "But where's the skin?" And I looked at him and I said, "I ate it." And he said, "You're not supposed to eat the skin." And I said, well, nobody told me, so I ate it. It tastes good. So there I go again with my, my rustic likes about food. While the skin was a little bit tough to chew, I thought it was supposed to be eating, so I actually ate the whole thing. And I thought I'd be doing a good deed and not insulting him by eating everything on the plate. Okay, I want to take a look at our caramelized apples, and you can see that we have a wonderful, wonderful color. We're going to place those right up in our squash. And they're just pretty much candied at this point. I want to take a look at our poached pear. So a wonderful poached pear. We'll always save this liquid from the pear because we'll poach pears again in the same liquid. Here's our wonderfully roasted Brussels sprouts. Let's take a look at our stuffing. Starting to brown up nicely on the bottom and the ends. A little bit of that wonderful sausage and chestnut stuffing. Okay. Cranberry sauce. Nothing better than fresh homemade cranberry sauce. That just looks wonderful. Let's take a last look at our rice pilaf. Here's some wonderful pistachio rice pilaf. We have a wonderful Thanksgiving side display, and I think there's nothing better than a glass of red wine, especially when it's my homemade red wine. I'm David Martone, Executive Chef at Classic Thyme in Westfield. Thank you for joining us for holiday sides cooking, everything but the turkey.